So Don Garber, we're here in Barbados at SoccerX, and we're talking about the establishment of a Premier League in the Caribbean. You're on the task force. What lessons have you learned so far, and what advice would you have?
You know, I think it's very early on, but it's an important project for the region. CONCACAF, with now Jeff Webb as president, has become a far more influential member of the global football community. And in order to really grow a game, and I feel very strong about this, you need a viable professional league. And the Caribbean, with all the logistical issues of being made up of so many different countries, needs a viable pro league that can help develop players, that can build fans, that can drive commercial activity, that can help this region have jobs and get kids engaged in sport. All those things are what a real viable league can deliver, and I think that would be important if they can achieve it.
And of course, you made the point today. 20 years ago, people were saying the MLS can't happen, can't succeed. Now they're saying, how did you make it happen?
Yeah,
how did you make it happen?
You know, I used to sit on planes and sit next to a guy, and he'd say, "What do you do?" I run the new soccer league in America, and they'd invariably say, "Oh, soccer will never make it in the United States." And now we have 21 teams in the United States and Canada, and 15, 16 stadiums that have been built specifically for our sport, more teams coming in the years to come. I don't think anybody can foresee the future and have the answers before they really understand the questions. And we've been able to very slowly and carefully, with enormous investment and blood, sweat, and tears, be able to build a viable league, but it's been very difficult. I believe the Caribbean can put a pro league together. It'll have challenges. It will require people with vision and a real partnership with the government and those companies here in this region that are invested in the future of their respective countries. And if the stars align, I believe they'll be able to get it done.
And the league is in rude good health, the MLS, and you've just signed a new TV rights deal with IMG, I understand.
You know, MLS is still a growing business, but it's a very promising one. We've just signed new television deals with ESPN and Fox and Univision for 2015 and the 8 years after that. We've just announced today a new agreement with IMG to represent our global media distribution rights. You know, things are pointing in the right direction, but it's still a challenge. It ain't an easy business being in the emerging sport business, and MLS has got to still stay very focused and be committed to our plan, be very disciplined, and still depend on investment capital from lots of very visionary owners.
If we can get a question in quickly, how did someone like a David Beckham help the league to progress and grow?
Oh, well, David was a very important member of the MLS family. He came in at his prime. He was 31 years old. He played in the league for 6 years and helped get people around the world to pay attention to us. And now we hope to have him continue on as an owner in our league.
And what is the latest with that? Because obviously they've got a problem finding a stadium. Is that dream going to die if they can't find one?
Well, you know, listen, I believe all dreams stay alive as long as the people behind them want them to be fulfilled. We have challenges in Miami getting a stadium that will be appropriate for MLS or really any professional league. It's got to be properly situated. It's got to be properly supported and properly funded. The local group, investor group, is willing to fund the construction of the stadium, but right now we don't have a location that we think will be successful. And David Beckham and his folks are working hard, even as we speak, to try to continue to find work with the public sector to find a site that will work.
And the comments from Jurgen Klinsmann recently about maybe the quality of players in the MLS, the quality of the standard of football. Do you find that unhelpful if you're still trying to establish yourself on the world stage, that you need to emphasize the point that players are playing at a high level?
Right. Sure. You know, MLS is a much higher quality than almost everybody gives us credit for. That's a function of being the new kid on the block, and we understand that. Jurgen Klinsmann is a big supporter of our league. He's somebody that is deeply engaged in growing the sport in our country, and he understands that a successful, thriving first pro division is necessary to get the sport to where everybody hopes it will be sometime soon. we are close friends and we're partners in this process. And we'll continue to work with them as much as we can to try to build the sport together.
And conversely, the success of the US men's national team is obviously good for you and your credibility as a league.
Yes, and MLS is a key driver of the success of the national team. This year we had 8 players on our rosters that were playing for the US national team. And we had a bunch of other players that had played in our league. So the partnership between our league and the federation is, it's got to be rock solid. And our league won't succeed without the support of the federation, and our national team won't succeed without a thriving Major League Soccer.
Commissioner, what are your thoughts about a World Cup bid for CONCACAF, Men's World Cup, hosting it another time?
Obviously I'm very supportive of that. President Webb has made comments, and we're very encouraged by that he hopes that the World Cup can be hosted by CONCACAF in 2026. But I've got my hands full trying to grow my league. I'm going to let Jeff and Sunil Gulati and any other CONCACAF country manage what their 26 World Cup plans are. All right, guys.
Just one final question. What next? Where do you go from here?
Me personally, or
no, the MLS, the league. Where does it go upwards?
It has to continue. Major League Soccer needs to continue to grow. Growth will lead to a broader business base, and that will allow us to be able to invest in developing players, building the right facilities, hiring and training the best coaches, and marketing the sport to a country that has become more and more connected to the game through international football and through lots of other mechanisms that brings the game to the U.S. and Canada. It is a continual project, and the goal is to one day be one of the top leagues in the world. We've set a date, 2022, which is when we hope to have hosted the World Cup. That's not going to happen, obviously, but we still want to be able to work every single day to be able to build a league that can be thought of as among the best, and that's still our dream. Thanks very much.
Fantastic.
Guys.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you, Jerry.